Hello and welcome to Dollar Bets. I'm Z.
I'm O.
We're here to talk some nonsense about sports. What's first, O? What we got?
What are we talking? Didn't we say we were going to start with the Masters and some women's college gymnastics,
The,
right?
the Masters in Gymnastics. I hope you've tuned into this podcast to hear about only the Masters that happened, 2 weeks ago, and gymnastics that's already over. And we're not going to be...
2 weekends? It wasn't this past weekend, was it?
No, I don't care about it. Oh, we're not here to simp for Olivia Dunn either, but we will be happy to have her on our show to talk about games to bet on. Okay. But first,
we have now covered the Masters in women's gymnastics.
we covered it. Yeah, we can put a hashtag gymnastics or something. Cover that. So I think you wanted to talk about the draft because we have the NFL drafts coming out at you next Thursday. Because we have two wild perspectives from Detroit. So, are we outing you as a person who lives near Detroit or in Detroit?
I definitely don't live near Detroit. I live in the city limits.
In the city.
Literally up the road from where the draft is going to be.
Perfect. So, are you attending the draft?
I will be riding my bike down there on Thursday evening, and I will be attending the draft. Absolutely.
Because
I'm so excited.
here at Dollar Bets, we don't condone drunken driving, and especially not when you're attending a major event that you can be traced to easily. So
Absolutely, yes.
Yes.
Driving.
he's going to be a sober Steven at this massive draft where everyone's going to get wild because this is brave new world for the Lions, is it not?
It's definitely a bizarre world for me as a Lions fan. I don't know what I'm going to do sitting through the first 28 picks. I need my GM to make a trade up because this is just not a world I can be accustomed to living in.
You picked 29th?
Lions are picking 29.
Oh my God.
That's what happens
So-
when you go to the conference championship.
So we call me Z because my last name starts with a Z, and so I'm gonna make a weird comparison here. Being like on the back end of the draft on the first day of the draft is like waiting to hear your name called in high school. You don't give a shit about the other students anymore. You just want to hear your name, but you're on the very end, so you're like, God, I gotta go through all this. The Jets, particularly the Browns, my Chicago Bears, like. You got to go through all this only to get to like a slot receiver or like a center, a third string guard that you're drafting in the first round or whatever. Obviously that doesn't happen, but that's what it feels like, right?
That's what it feels like.
But what's it going to feel after a few adult sodas?
I've never felt this.
Yeah.
I've never feel this.
It feels like the first time.
Detroit, we have like permanent residents in the top 10 of the NFL draft.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Basically my entire life.
my strategy on the Lions playoffs was just like when they got to the NFC title game was I just can't watch this. I know too many Lions fans. I'll feel like they're gonna tell me I had bad juju when I finally rooted for them, and I also didn't want to be a jerk, so I just abstained. I was totally Switzerland on it. It was great. So okay, like what do you guys need though? Like besides maybe a cornerback?
So I will say kind of the evolution of my personal mock drafting for the Lions. For the longest time, I thought they were going to go offensive line, probably interior offensive line, but that was before they ended up signing Zeitler, who replaced Jonah Jackson, who went to, I believe, San Diego.
Oh.
So that said, I still see a scenario where they do draft an offensive lineman in the first round.
Yeah.
Just two reasons. One, to have a succession plan in place, but also two, the Lions run a lot of jumbo sets, a lot of 6 offensive lineman formations. So, mostly last year they were using Dan Skipper, who's an offensive tackle, but
Yeah.
if there's a way to improve the talent for those, and also just have a contingency plan for injuries and a succession plan for the aging Ragnow or the aging
Ragnow. It's pronounced
I
Ragnow.
think that's what?
It's pronounced Ragnow.
Oh, okay.
Wait. I actually got a plan for them. Okay.
Mispronounce it.
I think that you mentioned trading up. This is like probably wild and won't happen. But I mean, if you're sitting there at 29 and you're just freaking bored at that point, like how far is Bauer gonna drop? The tight end that's kind of like more like a slot tight end maybe, or like because you got a monster with your tight end, and you saw what they did with Hawk prior to him. What do you think of having just like doubling up on strengths instead of just like drafting the fourth cornerback or like?
How far is he dropping? I think this guy is a top 10 at the very lowest, maybe 13.
Talent wise, yeah, that's what. Like, is there even a package they can make to anybody to trade up to get anybody? Like, so that's what I don't know your specifics like you do.
The price is too steep for the Lions.
Yeah, I think if there's not cornerbacks,
I can see them going into like the late teens, early 20s.
Hey, we're not talking about your dating life.
That, it could be an offensive lineman, but more likely it's probably a defensive, either an edge or a secondary player.
Edge or a back. Okay. Well, okay, so pivoting to a franchise that is somehow far worse than the Bears or the Lions is the Bears.
Yeah.
Well, I actually declared myself a dead Bears fan when they got nothing for Fields. And
what did they get, a 6th-round pick?
No, a conditional 6th-round pick.
Oh, pardon me.
And here's the thing about that is like the conditions are as follows: if we got fleeced, you give us a 4th-round pick, and it's not even this year; it's next year. Where's the Detroit next? No, where's the Detroit? Where's the draft next year? Like, some prison or something? I mean, they just keep going backwards here. They go from like Vegas to where was it last year?
Where was it?
I don't know. The Ozarks.
Yeah. Didn't Kansas City have it?
Yeah, I think you're right. They probably had it. And then Detroit, and now it's going to be like some hellhole or something. Because Detroit, you took me around Detroit recently. It's bumping. I give it 4 stars out of 5 right now. I'm serious. Because it's like, I mean, you can't really be like, oh my god, those 5 blocks or whatever weren't awesome, like, because they are. And then you can be like, if the Lions are solely responsible for how the city can be revitalized or continue to be revitalized, so they have to keep winning. So let's go Lions.
It's kind of like what happened with New Orleans after Katrina, right?
Yeah,
Like that team winning a Super Bowl, like
Drew Brees' right arm raised the levees.
Some of the repairs, and especially just the mental revitalization of that city.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I looked it up. Detroit got the draft this year. It was KC the year before, Vegas before that, Cleveland before that, and then before that it was the virtual COVID draft.
Oh, fun. The one with Kingsbury from his home.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, you remember that like luscious home he had?
I've pretty much mentally blocked out all of 2020. So no, I don't remember that.
I think like rappers are like renting out his Glendale home from 2020. He don't live there anymore. Forget where he is now, because I don't subscribe to the minutia of coaches that I don't think are very good. So
it's a very long list.
It's a long list. It's a shit list, okay, and it gets longer by the day. Chicago's coach will end up there following this year, is my prediction. I used to say that his aesthetic reminded me of a Sbarro's executive from like a regional mall chain of Sbarro's is. Sbarro's is the plural of Sbarro's. Just in case you knew that.
What are you telling me?
What? Eberflush or whatever. Eberflus, whatever. He can coach defense, right? And they they put it all on the line to get this number one pick, and they decided they're gonna clearly get Williams. I'll eat a shirt. I'll eat a Packers shirt if they do not draft Williams. I'll be happy, but
Yeah, let's put that point out there.
Yeah.
You are not sold on Williams.
no, I'm a Bears fan. How can I can't be sold on anything? I mean, it's like Bears fans are flat earthers. Like as far as like their level of hope goes, it's like no, man. I mean, you can't prove to me this is real. That they have a chance. You can't prove to me the Earth is round. You can't. You just can't. Okay, and so I think I soured on Williams a bit when I watched some of these USC games, and it's like, oh, the scouts. So like, yeah, but what about the eye test? Like he's out there dancing around, like throwing up lollipops, and like it's against Pac-12 defenses, which have historically struggled because they just constantly throw. So you're really, you get into your depth. You're tired. Like you're not cracking on the ball. You're just chasing down slot receivers that were 5'7" for like how long are football games these days? 7 hours. So like, it's tough. It's tough out there on defense, but they were still getting penetration on him. So I haven't seen him play with a real line, and I'm concerned that the Bears aren't quite there yet on their line. My modus operandi would have been to stick with Fields one more year and then get a free agent quarterback if it didn't work out next year, because the rest of the team is like real close. I would have drafted Marvin Harrison. I would have traded down to 2 or 3 and then drafted Marvin Harrison after a couple guys took quarterbacks, and then I would have taken another receiver at 9. That was my plan.
There's still a possibility that they trade down out of 1.
Yeah, I know, but it's not going to happen. They're taking Williams. So my concern is it's not so much the immaturity of the let me paint fuck Utah on my fingernails like that. What? Like, okay, that's not great. That's not ideal for your number 1 overall pick. Because who cares about Utah football? Like, you're living in the now, sort of. I guess that's nice. But you care about your college team, but literally, like you're gonna be the number 1 pick, and you're concerned about like a team that, first off, you couldn't beat. Utah beat them 3 times at UCLA or USC. Oh gosh. Shot. I got to do a shot if I make an error of that magnitude. We don't edit because we're Luddites, and I probably pronounced that wrong, just as you pronounce Ragnar wrong. But, what do you think about the chances that he's a Pro Bowl quarterback by year 2?
By year 2? No.
Then that's not worth the pick. Then it's not worth the pick. You built a defense that's ready to win, maybe not this year, but the year afterwards, with receivers that are going to be on course to do that. By the time he's ready, your window, like, it's just going to be too many moving parts that you have to rely on. And as a Bears fan, I'm very much traumatized, okay? This is my truth, okay? There's a lot of trauma as a Bears fan. And so it's like you can't rely on leadership to like get you out of something. It's like it's staring at you in the face that we're going to be 7-10 with this guy. And he could be very, 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 very good.
7-10 this coming year?
Yeah, this coming year. I just fear that the windows won't match up, and then they'll have to hire a new coach. They won't get the receiver they need. Keenan Allen will go by way of the glue factory. Or these are all my fears. This is what keeps me up at night. I sleep very well in the daytime. Just so you listeners, all 9 of you listeners, in case you're concerned, I do sleep extremely well in the daytime. I'm a day sleeper. I'm essentially a sports vampire. So it's great. It's great. But yeah, that's my concern. I think now that the Lions feel a lot more, I would say, over the hump, at least at being a competitive franchise, as long as they can compete for the playoffs, if not make the playoffs or dominate in the playoffs this year. I no longer feel like it's like fun to like kick them while they're down or keep them down. I realize it's a reflection of my own insecurity as a Bears fan. So go Lions.
listen, I'm obviously not a Bears fan, but I was on the Justin Fields train when he was coming out. I thought he was going to be the real deal for the Bears.
Yeah.
I was actually kind of excited for that franchise because I thought he was going to be good. They've obviously moved on. I would almost be willing to bet $1 that the Bears will trade the number 1 pick, and I only say that because they have 4 picks total in this draft.
Yeah.
And they have some needs.
I'll go $1 that they definitely. Oh, here's another reason why I'm going the $1. I have a standing bet of $100 that it was based on the Lions or the Bears not finishing last in the division last year. They tied, and I think they lost the tiebreaker with the Vikings, I want to say. However,
based on their draft selection of their own pick, which is what, number 9?
Yeah, the commissioner of my fantasy league, who you know, he cut me a deal. He's like, tell you what, if the Bears trade the number 1 pick, the $100 is a wash because they did tie for 3rd, technically, record-wise, and they beat the Vikings once head-to-head. So I was like, deal. And then I'm like, oh, they're definitely taking Williams. So I will gladly try to recoup $1 of $100, and I will say yes if you take that, our first official dollar bet between O and Z on dollar bets, that Williams will not be selected by the Bears because he will be selected by someone else because the Bears will in fact trade that pick.
Yeah.
Are you prepared to lock it in?
Gifting you $1, but I think it's in the realm of possibility.
Well, in the spirit of competition and glory and joy, and brotherhood, I will gladly find something that's a near gift in return. I will gladly do that. You should have caught me when I took some bad playoffs positions a couple days ago. The Magic, who I think you wanted.
That beautiful segue right there.
Yeah.
Let's go to the NBA playoffs.
Yeah. The NBA playoffs, baby. Woo!
All right. So yeah, we already discussed our predictions ahead of time, but let's just tell that to the audience.
All right. So for the playing games, the playing rounds, we both went, I believe, 2-2, right?
Right. Yeah, we split that.
We both thought the Heat would make it and the Sixers would make it.
Yeah, we kind of got thrown off by some injuries there.
And we both thought the Lakers would make it too.
Lakers?
No, you did not, and I did. Correct.
No, I said that the Lakers would make it, but I thought that they would be the 8th seed.
Oh, okay.
New Orleans was going to take.
Yeah,
game.
I had the Heat as a 7 seed and the Sixers as the 8 seed. You had the Sixers as a 7 seed correctly, and then you had the Heat as the 8 seed, right?
Correct.
And then I had Lakers as a 7. Yeah, and then you had you had the Pels as a 7.
Yep.
Oh, so you got all 4. You got all 4 in there. Yeah.
Just not in the right order.
Just not in the right order. Nothing in your life, right order, wrong place, all that stuff.
Right.
That's another conversation for another time. We are here to discuss the first round, the pivotal first round, the evolving first round of the NBA playoffs, 2024 style. So
what was the upset that you thought was going to happen?
So my picks, I'll go first in the East, and you go first in the West, okay? So,
Okay.
East, I had the 1 versus 8. Celtics, clearly, though I did take it was a $11 flyer on the Heat to win their series just because why not? Why not? I'm running hot after the UConn. I'm on a heater, guys. I'm on a heater. I had them up 18-1 all the way to 8-1 for the NCAA tournament. Come at us for tips. So I had Celtics clearly. In the 4-5, I took the Magic. I'm sticking by it. Magic in 7.
Yeah, I took the Magic too, and it's not really looking good for us so far.
No, they haven't even trailed, I don't think, at all. They didn't trail tonight. Earlier in the game 2. So it's 2-0 there. And then the 2-7, I took the Knicks. I hammered the Knicks for the series. Actually, hammered it. Not as much as some of the NCAA tournament plays, but like I just think that team, it's well coached. Thibodeau finally found a roster that fits his grit and his like advanced Ricky Gervais look that he's got going right now. If you just like put Ricky Gervais in a microwave or a time machine or something, and then out comes Thibodeau ready to fucking win the NBA playoffs. Okay, I got him going all the way, but and then the 3 versus 6, I took the Pacers. I'm gonna stick by that because of the miserable play of the Bucks and coaching in the second half for a couple stretches there. I don't know if you tuned in for that one. It wasn't particularly enjoyable, but it was on. It was sports on TV.
Yeah.
It was on. It was on the TV. So I watched it. So that's what I got there. Let's get to your West. Let's get to your West here.
Hold on. So just real quick to recap that.
Yeah.
I think the only one that I disagreed with you from the East is the Indiana-Milwaukee series.
Correct, and we dollar bet that. Yeah.
Yep, we dollar betted that. Okay, so moving over to the West, the 1-8. I'm not going with an 8 ever, just on principle.
Even though it's happened the last year, and
rarely that I'm just never gonna make that prediction.
So rarely, it's happened like twice in the last 3 years, I think.
It has happened like 3 times in history.
No, it's happened more than that.
It is not.
Wrong. Denver Nuggets.
That was the first one.
Miami Heat last year.
That was 2, and then there was Dallas Golden State.
Correct.
That's 3.
Is that it?
That's it.
I think we're missing one. Well, we just picked up 2 more listeners, and one of them can tell us. Travis, if you're out there,
Anyway,
email the show.
Number 1, number 2, Denver and the Lakers. Denver.
Yeah, Denver.
Right.
I hammered that too.
Yeah, you agreed with me there. The 3-6 is where I was going upset. I was going Phoenix over Minnesota.
Yeah.
I think
I took Minnesota.
One, didn't you?
I took Minnesota because I don't think much of Phoenix's lineup and depth. I mean, they got... Durant's a really tall guard, right? So they got 3 guards that can all score, but like, what else can any of them do? They're great players. It's just like, how well-rounded is your lineup? It's not. And it's old. And so, you're not going to win. You're not going to win. However, Minnesota, I know Anthony Edwards is transcendent lately, but Towns was injured. Gobert is limited offensively, but played well, I think, in game 1, I believe.
Yeah.
What else do they present? Maybe not a ton. Maybe they're still a couple pieces away or time with Edwards really climbing the ladder there. But they have enough to get by Phoenix, I think, with home court advantage and youth.
Well, not to let you completely poo on Phoenix, Nurkic is worth mentioning. The guy's averaging a double-double.
Yeah.
He's not probably as good as DeAndre Ayton was, but
Ayton demanded the ball
on this team, and Nurkic is better off being kind of not such an important part of the team, and he can still contribute.
Yeah, Ayton doesn't need as much of a Nurkic doesn't need as much of a pat on the back, right?
Yeah. So, he's not a former number 1 pick.
Yeah, correct. He is not. Do you know what country he's from?
More cut out to be a role player.
Where's he from? Is he from Detroit?
Nurkic?
Yeah.
He's from Europe.
Have we confirmed this?
I'm going to go purely based on the spelling and pronunciation of his name.
That's a bold assumption in these days and ages. Travis, email the show, and
He's from Europe.
Travis is our stat guy. He doesn't know it yet. He might not be real, but he's our stat guy. He's gonna find. He's gonna do a Google Earth search for where is Nurkic parents. I'm gonna say
Yes, we
some.
got the 4-5,
Yeah.
Clippers and Dallas. I am going Clippers. And Clippers is one of my most personally conflicting teams ever because they got one player that I really don't like teams that he's on. But then they also got one of my all-time favorites who, unfortunately for me, is now riding the bench. That's Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
You know, so, like, I want them to win at the same time that I don't want them to win.
I think that their apex as a team is too dependent on guys being healthy. They're never going to be healthy for a full series together.
Yeah.
Like the idea of you. The Clippers slogan should be called the idea of you. Like the idea of clips. Like what? Like it's just like, oh my god, look at this movie poster. This movie should be amazing, and instead you're getting like a movie like Hard Rain or something, where you're just like, oh, okay. But
also, their owner, Steve Ballmer,
yeah,
he's so ridiculous when they show him courtside. Just his little basket celebrations. Dude's like a 5-year-old kid on too much sugar.
Does he have a comb over?
Does he have a co-owner?
No, not a co-owner, a comb over.
Oh, a comb over.
Sorry,
That's different.
audience. I'm a little stuffed up. I normally sound different. I'm normally more seductive.
I can't really picture him having a comb over, and I also don't think he has a co-owner.
He's a co-owner with a comb over.
No, I think he's a full owner with no hair.
That would be my business card. It would just say full owner. Ask me about my hair plugs, or ask me about my.
No hair.
Yeah, no hair. No, like that'd be awesome. Okay, we won't go there on the Suns owner because he's a fellow Spartan. So is Gilbert. But that's an interesting. Yeah, and Al Gore. Did I say Al Gore's? What, Tom Gore's?
Of the league.
We own how much percent?
There's 30 NBA teams.
Yeah, Spartans have 3, and then a piece of like the Lakers, right?
Does Magic have an ownership stake?
He should. I think he has before.
I don't know.
We're gonna go 3.5, and that's
He had ownership of something else.
3.5 out of 30 is a lot.
Well, 3 out of 30 would be 10%.
Well, yeah, it's more than that. 3.5 out of 30 is more than 10%.
Well, we'll have to fact check that for the next episode.
I believe it's 13.3%. I might be off. I mean, we know I'm off, but like I might be off on this particular point. But basically, being a billionaire that's having a lot of money, and that's like, for you kids out there, that's like Taylor Swift level money, okay, or more to own a team.
Yeah.
That's in your ownership era when you have $10 billion.
Is
Okay.
Taylor Swift gonna buy the Kansas City Chiefs?
She's gonna own her boyfriend.
Yes.
Power Dynamics.
Yeah.
Have you heard any of her new album yet?
Oh, of course not.
Why not?
Just haven't really done it.
I haven't really done it. That implies that you very well may.
It's just not very high on my to-do list.
Oh, he's got a list. This guy, Travis and others out there that are listening, this guy likes lists. He's very productive. I've caught up a little bit in terms of being like more on the ball on stuff, but this guy is on the ball. He is on it like a penguin on an egg, like just over it. Just on it and over and through it. And he's just great. He's a great co-host. And I'm a great co-host, and we're great friends, and we're Spartans. And I've listened to 4 Taylor Swift songs or 5 from the album. It's fine. A couple are pretty good. A couple good. It's good. It's fine.
Did you take your girlfriend to the Eras tour?
I did not take my girlfriend in the Eras tour because then my girlfriend would not want to be my girlfriend anymore.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. She'd probably be like, why are you getting so excited? Why are you squealing? Why are you saying that this is so your era? You know, like, to do the Eras tour with my girlfriend, it would be an error.
Yeah.
I let's just say I like that type of music more than she does.
Fair enough.
She knows a lot of rap music, a lot of hip hop lyrics, more than me even. And I'm like, we both know that.
Well, didn't Beyonce have a tour this past year?
Did she? No, that was the year before, the Renaissance tour, right?
Yeah, that was what it was called.
Which I believe was a tour of Renaissance fairs.
Oh. Okay, I like that cross promotion.
Could you imagine that? What if she's just like stripped down performance of just like, you know what, we're just gonna go for this. I am a fair maiden, all my ladies, all my maidens, all my single maidens, and then they're like, it's like, if you're out there and you're tired of doing the washing up, put your fingers in the air.
If you like it, should have put a ball and chain on it.
Yeah, you should have put a ball and chain on it.
That's enough for you?
If you like it, you should have put your manner on it.
Okay, Dollar Bets is going into some unprecedented territories.
Dollar bets. Oh, so to track our bets. So now I'm sure you want to desperately hear about gambling. If you've had resorted to hear us talk about the biggest names in music, pop music for ages 7 to 40, and not our demographic of degenerate men that want to bet dollars with their friends on sporting events that are on television. Okay, so back to that. We got $1 on Williams getting the Williams pick being traded. Okay, you have
The Williams pick, not
Yeah.
the Bears pick.
the Williams pick. It's gonna be Williams. So the Bears pick being traded. You got Bears trade. You have Milwaukee Bucks. You have LA Clippers. Or no, you rescinded that one because you're worried about.
Foolishly, because I thought, well, I didn't think. I rescinded it when I saw the news that Kawhi was out.
That was a smart rescind. So here's the thing: is like if you're betting with your friends aren't fucking like FanDuel, okay? Like, or DraftKings or ESPN Bet. We will take your money, advertising wise. The others as well, Bet365, etc., etc., etc. You have to give your friends reasonable terms, and if an injury happens, you're like, nah, like you don't wait for them to ask you for the bet back. You go, be like, hey, are you sure you still want to do this? I heard that this guy's, drove his car 300 miles an hour and like crashed and like, 40 people like are no longer with us or something, and he can't play tonight. So like, do you want to take the bet back? And you say, and that's what you do. That's what good friends do. Be a good friend. Be a good gambler. Be a good friend. Be a good watcher of sports on TV. Okay, so you have Milwaukee.
I have Milwaukee, and you have Minnesota.
Yeah, I have Minnesota. That's
We got
correct.
2
And
NBA
Indiana.
Series bets,
Yep.
and we have 1 NFL draft pick getting traded.
Yeah, that's 3 bets. That's a pretty good odd number. Is there any? You got 2 more to make it still an odd number?
No, I think that's where we're at.
Okay, so if you didn't see the end of the Knicks game tonight, oh my god, dude. You saw the highlights of that block, like the Hartenstein block?
Yep.
That was awesome. But the 3-pointer, the sequence right before that, so Jalen Brunson, he's kind of like not quite a microwave player because he's like a lead dog, but he's just like a gritty lead dog, right? He's not a show dog that you take out there at Westminster with the fur, boots with the fur and like the curled hair and shit. He's a junkyard dog that just someone let in the house, and he's just like, like he's ready to rock at all times. He's ready to shoot at all times. He's ready to make a pass to Hartenstein for a cut at all times in the paint. He went 7 for 28 until there was like 30 seconds left in the game. 7 for 28. He shoots a step aside three, steps to his right, launches a three. It looks like another brick. It goes straight up in the air, softly rattles in, and then they get a steal off the inbound pass. Miss a three from, what's his face, DiVincenzo. And Hartenstein gets a monster rebound. They find DiVincenzo again, and he drills it with like 13 seconds left. And it was just like, I was like, oh! It was awesome. Because I have like
Here we go. This
a lot of money.
Is end the show.
Yeah.
Right now, it is halftime of Lakers at Nuggets. Nuggets, of course, won Game 1. The Lakers are winning 59-44. Yes or no? Are the Nuggets coming back and winning this game?
No.
I'll go yeah.
Nice.
Dollar bet?
Yeah, I'll go dollar bet on that.
Dollar bet it is. All right.
It's a hedge. We ended with a hedge. Be safe. Be safe, my betters. Be safe. Hedge when you need to, right? Because I got a lot on the Nuggets series. However, when you see an opportunity to get a dollar back, get a dollar back.
All right.
Thanks.
All right.
Hire us. We're great. Thanks for listening, Travis. Bye.